Good afternoon, my media fraternity. My name is Sushil Vikram. I'm the National Secretary of the National People's Party. Any other things you want to ask me? Or should I start directly?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, there was some about news on on 28th, I think yesterday, I think, some of the NPP, so-called NPP. In fact, they are not a part of NPP anymore, but they made a statement that there's a mass resignation done by them. Actually, I would say that it's not a mass resignation. It's a handful of few members of the NPP. They resigned from the party, and the party is not really does not take it that seriously about that resignation, because these people so-called call themselves as the NPP secretary or NPP any business which they hold, they claim. Actually, they are inactive in the party for the last 4 to 5 months, and they are not visible at all in the party. Actually, I come all the way from from the center regarding this matter, and the center doesn't take this kind of resignation very seriously, and there's no confusion in the party at all. NPP party in Nagaland is doing very good at the moment. Day by day, lot of energetic, dynamic youth, and many of the academicians of Nagaland, they are joining us, and they are likely to join in the future also. There's a lot of the so-called likings of the party, because they know that NPP is a one party in the entire Northeast, and also recognized as one of the the national party from the Northeast for the first time. And then, unlike other party, NPP, though it's a national party, NPP is very specific about the Northeast issues, and always when we think about our day-to-day politics, we always prioritize the Northeast. Northeast in overall. So that's why even we have a slogan. Every time we talk about NPP as a united Northeast, one voice, and these are the things we NPPs because of that. What is happening in NPP? You see the recent election in Manipur. We are the second largest party next to BJP in Manipur. Unfortunately, we cannot form the government. We lost by 15 seats with a very narrow margin. But our voting distance is increasing. Earlier, last time in 2017, it was 4% but this time we got about 17.2. Like that, NPP in other states, in places like in Arunachal, NPP is growing, and in Meghalaya, that NPP the Meghalaya government is led by the NPP party only, under the leadership of our Sri Conrad Sangma, our Honorable Chief Minister, as well as the President of our party. Also in Tripura, we are going ahead with this coming election. We are expecting to do good in Tripura also. But in Nagaland context, as of now, we are very confident that we'll be going all out this time in the election of Nagaland, which is going to happen in 2023. And we are hoping that that we'll be able to do the best, and lot of, because the kind of the people's demand, or people's kind of a confidence in NPP, I can feel it myself, because lot of I have mentioned earlier also, a lot of new energetic dynamic people are joining us NPP day by day. With these few words, I'll just shorten up my saying. Any other question we can discuss on that?
In connection and in continuation with our secretary from the national, I'm happy to all the fraternity of medias who have come here. Good evening, and just wanted to apprise you that what we saw yesterday, it shouldn't have happened, but it doesn't matter. Every people have the right to speak of whatever they want to, but taking in context, people may misunderstand, and not to misunderstand, we would like to clarify or even our statement. So we'd like to mention over here, like it's like a barking dog, and in other fable I would like to say that it's like the fox and the grape story. When the fox tried hard to get the grape and eat it, could not get it, and he just walked up by saying the grapes are sour. So it's like that. If you cannot, it's easy to despite what you cannot get. So these are the descendant group actually who was actually harboring for the past 1 year to deteriorate, to disturb our party, and wanted to take the position of the president's chair. And they were going actually behind us, and they were having signature campaign across every district. But in vain they could not do it. So there were only a handful, about 3 or 4 districts who were in tune with them. And this district also, they had no members whatsoever. Some of the district had only the president alone. I will not mention the name, but such was the disaster that they had actually taken. So the center saw that there was a vacuum, and we had also apprised the center. So they had sent us an observer very recently, not even a 2 months back, Mr. Muchumiti. He came to this very office. Then he came and tried to find out what exactly has happened. He deliberated upon all the case very vividly. Then it was found that the descendant group, those who have actually tarnished the name and trying to tarnish right now, who were yesterday, he found out that this were not the right people. So they were supposed to be expelled anyhow. But NPP, having a big heart, always does not leave any bad images. So what they did was, they said, okay, we'll leave the door open for them if they want to reconcile. So that is how it was done. But in spite of all that, they tried to take a wrong stepping of defaming the NPP. But we are here very strong. In fact, we have gone to every district. And recently we just came from Kipri. We could see that the new district president, who is not even installed about 2 months back, he has come out with hundreds of supporters. In fact, we had more than 300 people in Kipri who were in support of us. So also this was the 7th leg. So we have been visiting all the district in big, volume. People had turned out. And the 7th district we just finished not even a week back. So we can see that our NPP is growing very well. And this descendant group, they knew that they were being sidelined, and they didn't want to take, probably they were feeling awkward that they may be sent off, which we do not do so. Okay, we always take a family member, as we call it, NPP family. So this is how it went, but they took the wrong stepping. But it is to be made sure that what they claim of 80%, it's a big joke, I will say that. I mean, they didn't have any other figure to be thinking about, because we have all the rank and file of every, in principle, in records, in signature, we know all the members across our state. So what they all claim that they make is actually quite a mockery on themselves. So if they went to walk out, they could have walked out in a peaceful manner, but also their performance was very bad. In fact, Mr. Lima, who was claiming a very big high tall about his being the national general secretary or the secretary organization, he did not do any work actually when he was in our time, not defaming anybody, but in actual, because I was then still the president and he was my secretary. So I know what work he has and what capacity he has. So he was given in charge of Karbi Along, but Karbi Along miserably fell under him. Not even one MLA came out, and this time also the Autonomous Council, not even one member came under his leadership, and he was given the in charge over there. So that really proved that what kind of leadership dynamism that he was following up. So we could see everything, and also there were other members who have been actually poisoning the mind of many. There are 1 or 2 of them actually in the party who was actually supporting everything. But we'll not mention the name, but this other thing. And we will be giving in writing also what episode that we have happened till now. And to the media fraternity, we'll be giving in writing. But whatever you could recollect from here. And if there's anything you'd like to ask question, you can please do so. Yes. And probably also Dionuku, who is also the senior advisor of our party. So he will also probably would like to say a word or two. Yeah.
As of now, the party is growing from strength to strength, and we cannot just accept that kind of term, mass resignation. Of course, they were given responsibility in the past, holding this and that. But after real burden is in the office, when the party people are invited to come to the party office to function, none of them turn up and they don't come to the party office anymore. And so they were on the verge of either suspension or expulsion. So in order to avoid facing the suspension and expulsion, now they have put up the resignation, call it as a mass resignation. But the vast majority are still there with the party, and so we cannot say that. And we are hoping that in the 2023 election, we'll be having some potential candidates from various districts, and we are hoping that we will have enough MLAs next time. And so this is our hope, and we're working on it. And so now we have also the women wing, the youth wing, working everywhere. And so we are hopeful that apart from some of the senior past legislators, we'll also be having some new faces in the next Assembly House. So this is our expectation, and we hope for the best. Thank you very much.
Sir, so that means the mass resignation was expected from the party.
We could not say as a mass resignation because they do not even quantum to 2%. But we knew that they were unhappy because some of the district president who the name was given, they were already sidelined. We had to actually reorganize, especially like in your Kipri, we had reorganized. In Mon, we had reorganized. And the two descendants, their name was not there. So it was already, their name was not there, so it was understood that they were not needed in the party. So, and also the Mogukchung, he came to know, and even Longland. So these are the things like that they came to know that they were going to be sidelined. So we recently had a very big gathering in Kipri under Lisha Vatsatsumo, and he proved himself, and he's the new president. So now how come the old president, Mr. Michael, is claiming, or probably their team is claiming that they have more than 80%. So already new president has been set up. We had to reorganize actually, without hurting them actually in that aspect. Yeah.
So the resignation was not expected?
No, it was expected, yeah. In fact, they should have, some of them should have, on moral ground, they should have actually stepped down. Because as I said, like Lima should have done in the moral ground because he did not prove himself in Karbi Alam, in both the election actually.
Do you feel that the resignation was a sign of power mongering?
Yes, that is very important. As I said earlier, actually they were trying to lobby as a signature campaign to remove me, and they wanted to be the president. In fact, the work proved, they do not have any worthwhile proof of any work that they have done. And the center knows very well who is actually on the ground. We, without having even a single MLA, we have taken the party to a very big height, and they know it. And then they want to just sit on the chair, warm the chair, and that's it. So that is how they have been proving themselves, whereas they don't even have an iota of how to run an organization in that aspect. Yeah.
I just want to edit you.
Yeah.
Actually, they are not visible at all
Yeah, they're not visible right now.
in the party. So I said, this is not a very important issue. We don't take it seriously. Like few members from our party who resign, and we don't take it as a mass resignation. So we don't take it seriously. It's a kind of like maybe from the end they must be thinking like they want to create confusion with the party, but it's not, because our party is going in a very better step at the moment. That's why there's no confusion at all. So
They have also claimed that they have received invitations from several political parties from the region, regional political parties as well as national political parties, and also existing national political parties who want to set up base in Nagaland.
that is up to them, and we wish them all the best.
All the best. In fact, after all this episode that was taken yesterday, many from various districts they called us, and they were rejoicing. Thank God this group has left, because they were the one who was actually stepping our toe, and they were not letting us go ahead. And they were all the time having a lot of indifferences among us, because they were writing to the center, they were not letting us work peacefully, and they were all the time having like a stay order kind of a thing, because of them. So ultimately they had to vacate, or they had to evaporate in whatever ways, So that was the main thing that they were disturbing us,
So the NTP is saying this resignation will not be a problem for the.
No, in fact, we are the happiest person. In fact, it will not hamper us, and we are very happy. Now the party will go with a clean slate, and we are going to go to greater heights because of they not being here.
In addition to this, party already reorganized sometime in April, but actually NPP is a party, the beauty about a party is that, we waited for them to,
Reconcile,
change,
if they want to.
reconcile,
On
But-
humanitarian ground.
Yeah. So because of that, it's good that, we didn't expel them, directly to that, we didn't, expose about them to the media. The credentials,
It should not be happen if we didn't wait for them. They are in a verge of expulsion. But we have been waited since we want to work it out together. But at the last moment, they didn't get up to that point. And they have been saying that mass resignation, but as being I'm a youth vice president now. And even I've called up my president, Young Huri, to give some explanation that why didn't you done your work accordingly. And we, not only me, but we all the youth have been called here, saying that we need some clarification about some works and all, but he never come up. And we were trying to figure it out, what is the problem. But they never respond. That simply means you all know. That's all.
Sir, you
Yeah.
mentioned that there was a signature campaign to remove you.
Yes.
So, if you can tell us when did they start this signature
This was started from last year, probably in the month of November. They were trying their level best from last year to remove me, and they were trying to go signature camp, but in vain, because everybody know in what capacity we work and how honestly or how truthfully we are working. So this was what was happening, and then it made a big blow towards them actually in that aspect, So it was shameful. In fact, they were rejoicing that some of them are going to be the new president. So it was a shameful act, to do that, and which is not in the constitution at all. So we are not supposed to have groupism, nepotism, and all this backdoor whatever, and also signature campaign. These are anti-party activity. But in spite of that, we were just keeping cool. And the observer from Arunachal came. He saw everything, and he knew what exactly it was. And they were like power mongers, I would say that. And they wanted to just sit on a chair, and they feel that they want to be comfortable, and they want to play the election 23 in their own whims and wishes. So that's how it was, So it was kind of a shameful act. Anybody would like to? Now, actually, I would just say now the obstacle is removed. Now we can work with peace and harmony. And we are very happy. Actually, the entire party is rejoicing that they have left, because they were the main obstruction, They were the thorn in our legs. So we are very happy that, and we are very, very grateful to God, because everything happens for good. And that's now we can work in a peaceful way. And we are doing very well in many aspects, actually. Many people are having appraisal about us, and we are working with sincerity in spite of no MLAs or no ministers at hand. So I wish everybody the best of luck, and I wish that Nagaland will grow to greater heights, and I wish that Naga people would understand that we should not play like this game at the back and try to bring down and pull down people who are working with real good integrity. We should have a person with integrity. So I wish that Nagas all realize that we should work in harmony, we should work in peace, and we should go for the development. And NPP is here for the development of the party, and not only the party, for the entire Nagaland and also the entire Northeast. So we are happy, and thank you very much, all of you. Yeah. I would like to give you the paper.